Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, VoltVinny9328. Thanks for the suggestion, Vinny. You asked, what is a generator and an alternator? Excellent question, because yes, both turn motion into electricity, but they do it in subtly different ways. It's like asking why both pizza and calzones exist when one is just folded pizza. They look similar, but inside, the magic works differently. So, let's fire up the engines, spin some coils, and find out what makes generators and alternators tick. Right here on Explaining Everything. All right, let's start with what they actually do. Both generators and alternators have one big job: to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. That's their entire identity. No side quests, no emotional depth, just spin, spark, repeat. They both rely on a principle called electromagnetic induction, discovered by Michael Faraday, the guy who figured out that moving a wire through a magnetic field can create electricity. Basically, if magnets and coils dance together, electricity shows up like, "Yo, what's the vibe here?" Here's the fun part. Both machines use that same dance routine, but switch who leads. In a generator, the coil of wire does the spinning, while the magnetic field stays chill. In an alternator, the magnet does the spinning inside stationary coils. It's a small role swap, but it changes everything. The alternator's like, what if we stop running in circles and just spin the magnet instead? And suddenly, it's way more efficient, lighter, and smarter. Also, a generator can make direct current DC or alternating current AC depending on design. Alternators, however, only make AC, current that keeps changing direction, like someone who can't decide what to watch on Netflix. Time to look under the hood, metaphorically. Don't actually open your car alternator. It's not a friendly place. Inside a generator, we have the armature, a coil of wire that spins inside a magnetic field. As it spins, it cuts through those magnetic lines and generates electricity. Simple, old school, reliable. This setup was used in early cars, planes, and power systems, basically everywhere before the alternator came to steal the spotlight. But because the coil moves, it needs something called a commutator and brushes to keep the electrical connection working while it spins. Imagine trying to charge your phone while doing jumping jacks. That's basically what's happening inside a generator. It works, but it's not graceful. Now, in an alternator, it's the opposite. The magnet, called the rotor, spins, and the coils, called the stator, stay still. That means no wild spinning wires, fewer moving parts, and a way cleaner design. Electricity is generated right in the stator, stationary, safe, and easy to connect. This simple design tweak gives alternators a big edge. They can produce more power, especially at lower speeds. Perfect for vehicles, where you need your lights, radio, and AC to stay on even when you're stuck in traffic. So, yeah, generators walk so alternators can glide. All right, now let's talk about the electricity itself, the part that actually matters. Generators, especially older ones, often make DC power, direct current, where electricity flows in one direction. Steady, predictable, reliable, like a dad explaining taxes. Alternators, on the other hand, make AC power, alternating current. It flips direction dozens of times per second. It's like the electricity can't make up its mind, but somehow still get everything done. Here's why that's awesome. AC is easier to transmit over long distances and easier to adjust in voltage. That's why giant power plants use alternators, not generators. AC power keeps your lights on, your fridge humming, and your Wi-Fi arguing with your router. Now, in your car, the alternator technically makes AC too. But before it goes to your battery, it passes through something called a rectifier, which converts that AC into DC. Because your car battery only speaks DC. So yeah, your alternator is bilingual. It makes AC, then politely translates it before sending it out. And that translation happens instantly. No delay, no drama, no please hold while your power is being processed. Just smooth, constant electricity, even when your engine's barely idling. Now, let's talk about who's tougher in the long run. Generators are built like old gym equipment, sturdy, heavy, and probably still in someone's garage. But all that moving and rubbing, thanks to the brushes and commutator, means they wear out faster. Over time, the brushes get tired, the output drops, and suddenly your generator's wheezing like a 90s printer. Alternators said, let's fix that. By keeping their main coils stationary and only spinning the magnetic field, alternators drastically reduce friction and wear. Some are even brushless, meaning there's almost nothing to replace. They're also more efficient. They can charge your car battery even when your engine's idling, and they handle big electrical loads like modern cars' headlights, heated seats, and 5 phone chargers at once. So while generators ruled the early 20th century, alternators took over everywhere from cars to power plants. One's the wise elder, the other's the cool tech-savvy kid who runs on caffeine and efficiency. So, what's the takeaway here? Both generators and alternators do the same dance. They just have different moves. The generator proved we could turn motion into electricity, and the alternator perfected the art with a remix that's faster, cleaner, and smarter. One spins the wire, the other spins the magnet, but both give us the juice that keeps our world running. So next time you hear an engine humming or see backup lights flicker on, just know there's a tiny metal DJ inside, spinning coils and dropping electrical beats so your life can stay powered. If you enjoyed this deep dive into generators and alternators, don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe soon we'll cover how Iron Man's arc reactor works. Just kidding. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.